We're trying to get Michael Bisping on the phone right now.
Hello.
Hi, Michael. It's Jim Norton and your pal Louis J. Gomez. How are you?
Hey, I'm very good. How's it going?
Good, buddy. Thanks for taking the time for us today.
What's up, motherfucker?
Hey, what's up, Louis? How are you, buddy?
What's going on, pal?
This TV, 1 sec. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Are you moonlighting on me, motherfucker?
Yeah, you know what? We were doing the countdown for a while. It felt good. And, Jim and Matt were doing this unfiltered show. That felt good. But we figured, why not cut the dead weight? These fighters, they don't really know much about broadcasting. Figure me and Jim will just do our own show.
Yeah, Louis is cheating on you over here.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, are we actually rolling? Or
Oh, yeah.
not yet?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Rolling. Oh, well, fucking hell, you should have told me. I'll get my posh voice on.
He's got to get his posh voice on.
Oh, no. So what are you doing today,
That
Michael?
was obviously the worst joke ever because there was just fucking silence. But all right, guys, come on. Do your thing now. Let's do this fucking interview.
How do you feel about the fight this Saturday? You must be, obviously you're ready.
Well, before I came out here to the fight, because obviously the fight's happening at 5 o'clock in the morning, probably closer to like 5:30, the fight will actually be happening. And I was like, yeah, you know what? It's fine. I'll just stay on California time. Now, of course, in theory, that's really, really easy. The problem is staying up till 5 o'clock in the morning, because it's boring as fuck.
Right.
There's nothing to do, So we were just sat here last night having cups of tea and talking in the room till like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I guess it's suitable to go to bed now. So we're going to have a full week of doing that prior to the fight. But other than the being bored and having breakfast at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm feeling great, feeling really good, very positive. My mind is calm, feel strong. I'm ready to get revenge on Dan Henderson.
Yeah, does that first loss, I'm always amazed when guys are fighting someone they've lost to, and you have to think about it. How do you avoid allowing that to kind of play into your psyche for this fight?
Well, you know what? It's not like it happened yesterday, it happened 7 years ago. So, I will be, listen, he knocks me out. I just saw it again for the 5 millionth time. I just saw a clip of the Countdown show, and of course on the Countdown show it shows me getting knocked out against Henderson. As I said, I've probably seen that clip about 5 million times since it happened. It's part of history. And that actually made me a better fighter. I realized I had to change something. So I stopped going into my fight. I was skinny. I started cutting more weight and changed a few things. So, I thank Dan Henderson for that. It's part of history. You can't change it. But what I can do is get revenge. And going into the fight, that was a terrible version of me. It's almost unfair to call this fight a rematch because the first fight, Dan Henderson was enhanced. He was on TRT. He was a way better version of himself. And now, myself, I'm a way better fighter now than what I was then. So Dan Henderson has gone on the decline. I've gone on the incline. So it's not even fair to call it a rematch. He's still got that heavy right hand. He can still knock people out. We saw that in his last fight. He's still dangerous. But I just think I'm the way better fighter. And, I'm looking forward to setting the record straight.
No, we had Perillo on a couple of weeks ago talking about the game plan going into this fight. Look, we talked about this on our show. Dan Henderson, he's a motherfucker, and he's got his specific, weapon that he has available to him makes it a really difficult fight for anybody at any given point. He can knock anybody out at any given moment in this fight. Are you planning on coming into this fight and playing it safe and outpointing him? Because I feel like that's definitely a path to victory right there. You're definitely a better kickboxer. Or are you trying to knock him out to exact revenge on him the way he knocked you out?
Well, here's the thing. Nobody wants to see somebody go out there and try and outpoint somebody. This is the most exciting sport in the world because, people go out there and knock each other out. And that's what I'm looking to do. I'm not looking to outpoint him. I'm not. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll take a victory any way I can. If that's going to be a decision, then so be it. But I'm looking to knock him out. I'm looking to, listen, I want to get revenge, all that, but that's not really what's at stake here. I want to remain world champion. I want to beat him in emphatic style. But that said, I've got to be careful. I was just watching a little clip of the Countdown show before, as I said, and I'm excited with my coach, Perillo, just walked in the room now, and I'm here with Daz Morris, my Thai boxing coach, and my jiu-jitsu coach, Brady Fink. And, the one thing we said when we watched it, we looked at him, the words out of my Thai boxing coach's mouth were, he's an hard bastard. You know, he's an hard bastard. When you look at Dan Henderson, you can clearly see he's a tough motherfucker. He ain't no pussy, you know. And whether or not he has spent a lifetime being a martial arts fighter or a wrestler or whatever, he'd still handle himself in a bar. He's an hard fucker, you know, so I've got to be careful. But I'm a hard fucker as well, you know, and I've fucking handled myself in many a bar, many a street fight, and I'm also, on top of that, a world-class striker. So I'm going to go out there, I'm going to look to finish him, but I've got to be careful. You know, that right hand is still very, very powerful, and he can still knock people out.
Now, you know, Henderson has been pretty vocal about it. I believe he said if he wins the title, he's going to retire with the UFC title. We talked about it on the show. That was an idea you possibly had. You told me that your wife wanted you to retire with the title during your last fight. Two-part question. Number one, do you think that is bad for the middleweight division if the champion retires with the title? Number two, is that something that's coming into your mind for this fight? Is that a possibility, depending on how this fight goes? Would you consider retiring?
Listen, it's selfish. No, I'm not retiring. I'm earning too much money to retire. But here's the thing. Whatever I do, I'm not thinking, and all respect to the UFC, but I'm not out here thinking, what's the best thing for the middleweight UFC division? Okay? That is not my thought. I'm not putting myself through all this agony and hard work, getting punched in the face on a daily basis so I can benefit the UFC. I'm trying to benefit Michael Bisping and Michael Bisping's family. Plain and simple, period. So the UFC middleweight division will go fuck themselves. I'll do what's right by me. And what's right by me, beating the fuck out of Dan Henderson, and then beating the fuck out of a few more people as well and getting paid. And when I decide to retire, whether or not it's with the belt, I couldn't give a fuck what's the best thing UFC middleweight division.
Good for you, man. And that really is very truthful. It's because there's more money in a lot of times in a rematch, or if it's a great fight.
I'll tell you right now, the other middleweights aren't saying, what's the best thing for Michael Bisping? So fuck the middleweight division. Fuck them all. I'm here for myself, myself, and I, and my family, my team, represent my country, all that shit, all that bollocks. That's all well and fucking good. But they can all kiss my ass. I'm going to beat the fuck out of Dan Henderson. I'm going to go get shit-faced beyond all proportions. And everyone can go fuck themselves.
I don't know how anyone can not want this guy to be champion for a long time. I want to see. It's very hard to, and I imagine for fighters, very rarely do guys just win a belt and then stop, because then it's yours and you want to defend it. And if someone takes it, they take it. But I don't see many fighters that really want to walk away with a belt still to be defended.
Yeah, Dan Henderson's full of shit. If Dan Henderson wins this fight, he ain't going to retire. That's a fact. He's saying that. Dan Henderson's saying that he's going to retire because he knows he's not going to win this fight. You know, he knows he's not going to. There's a reason why he says he's going to retire. That's because his body's too old and beat up. He can't take the steroids anymore. He can't manipulate the system. He can't cheat. So he's saying, I'm fucking done. All right, he's had a great career and this and that, but a lot of it was fueled by artificial testosterone. He can't do that anymore. He's made some money. You know, God bless him. Good for him. He's had a good career. He knows he's calling it a day.
Now, Michael, let me ask you now. When I think when he was doing TRT, wasn't it legal when he was doing it? And when was it? How has he done since it's been made illegal and he hasn't been able to do it?
Yeah, well, no, it was legal when he was doing TRT, but I didn't know about it. Dan Henderson was the godfather of testosterone replacement therapy. If I believe, and I could be mistaken, but I believe that he was the first person to start doing this. You know, and it has since been outlawed or banned. And they say, you know, oh, I need it or I can't fight. But then when they banned it, here he is now, years later, still fighting. So it was bullshit. It was a play of the system. I'll tell you right now, I walked into a doctor's. Any fighter that has a doctor with them, by the way, is a cheating bastard, because I don't need a fucking doctor. Only time I see a doctor is if I'm sick, and even then I don't see a doctor. It's if I'm on the verge of dying, then I'll maybe think about seeing a doctor. Anyone that has a doctor with them is doing fucking steroids, and Vitor Belfort is the one I'm thinking of, the cheating piece of shit that he is. But what was the question? How's he done since he came off the steroids? He's done terrible. He's done fucking useless. He just knocked out Hector Lombard. God bless him, that got him a title shot. But he got knocked out about 3 times prior to landing that elbow. And who else did he beat? He knocked out Tim Boach, but Tim Boach is, you know, he's not exactly, world class, is he? So God bless him. He's a tough bastard, but
Mike, I love when you try to be. You're trying to be political, but you still can't say.
Here's the thing, because I've got stuff to get Benny now. Because I'm being filmed. Before I thought it's just me and you and our friends listening, but now I'm on camera for the embedded crew, so might have to tone it down a notch, boys.
So now we're going to see Michael Bisping change because the camera crew came in. Now Tim Bosch is a world-class striker.
Yeah, Tim Bosch is a world-class striker and a double-hard motherfucker. One hell of an American.
Let me ask you, Mike, just a little off topic. I know Rashad Evans, who you fought back at, I was there, it was New Jersey, UFC something. He's making his middleweight debut. I said that for a long time, that Rashad should have gone down to middleweight. It seems like he was carrying a little extra weight around. What do you think about him going down now? And is that a rematch you'd be interested in down the road if he starts getting some wins?
God bless Rashad. I like Rashad. Rashad's a nice guy. He's a class act. He's been a great fighter, and he was a great addition to the UFC's roster for a long time. I wish him the best. I do. I wish him the best. Rashad's a good dude, but I don't know. It's not any easier at middleweight than what it was at light heavyweight, and I don't think I'm being nasty. He struggled a little bit recently, so hopefully, because he was never the biggest light heavyweight, but that said, he's very thick. Rashad is very thick. He's got a big old arc on him. He's got big thighs and things like that. He's very stocky. So, I hope he finds success at middleweight, but it's not necessarily easier. I thought when I went down from 205 to 185, but yes, here we go. I'm going to go down to middleweight. I'm going to start bullying some people around. Did you see me squaring up against Luke Rockhold? I look tiny. There's some big dudes at middleweight, so he's not necessarily going to find an easier payday down at middleweight. But I wish him the best. I really do.
That's really you're really an honest guy. It's nice to hear that you're genuinely when you wish someone well, it sounds sincere, and when you don't, they're a cheating piece of shit. You definitely speak your mind, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, there's no black and white. I mean, this embedded guy here, he will tell you this. This person he's got Alex, right? What's your last name? Merriman? Alex Merriman. If you ever speak to him, ask him to tell you the story about when we met yesterday. Because he probably thinks I'm the biggest piece of shit walking, because I've just done a 15-hour journey, 11 hours across the Atlantic, 4 hours at London Airport, then about 2 hours to get to Manchester because we sat on the runway forever. We feel like shit, we're tired, we've had no sleep and all this stuff. We walk out, he's camping out at the airport waiting for us to film us. I'm like, what the fuck?
You are a fucking fun guy, man.
I always wonder that with fighters, because like in a weird way, like it's some of the most intimidating people in the world. They can really just kick the shit out of you. But you're also a professional fighter. I feel like you're much less likely to actually punch somebody than a dude who works, a regular 9-to-5 job, because you're a professional. What would be the moment where you would say, I'm going to punch this guy in the face? Does it have to be somebody actually physically attacking you? Or could somebody piss you off, like a civilian, to the point where you would just drill them in the face and you said, I don't give a shit that I'm a professional fighter?
Yeah, no. I mean, when I was a kid, definitely there was, listen, I was a little shit when I was younger. There was plenty of fights, believe you me. I've had more street fights than professional MMA fights, let's just put it that way. Probably more in 1 month than what I've had MMA fights. But that is a form of my business. That guy does not exist anymore. I haven't had a street fight for years and years and years. I was a very different person when I was younger. I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of frustration. I was an angry kid. I was an angry man. But my wife helped change that, and fighting for a living has changed that. So, I don't think you could push my buttons enough where I would actually punch you in the face. You would have to attack me. You would have to attack me for me to resort to violence. And then, of course, I would defend myself to the full limit of the law, and maybe stick the boot in while you're down as well. Attack me. Attack me at your peril, though.
All right, well, you're fighting this Saturday night. The fight is obviously sold out, but it'll be available on pay-per-view. It's the championship, the middleweight championship, of course, against Dan Henderson, the rematch. And Belfort is also on the co-main, fighting Gegard Mousasi. And this, it's a really good card, but the fight we're all looking forward to is seeing you and Henderson.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it is a great card. 204, there's a lot of good fights on there. The co-main event, as you said, It's definitely an interesting fight. But, yeah, for me, of course, it's all about the main event. And fighting Dan Henderson. I've wanted this rematch for a long time. Finally get it now as the champion. First title defense in England, in Manchester, my home city, pretty much. First ever British champion. I'm excited. You know, I mean, my days are upside down at the moment. I'm here. It's night time. I just had breakfast, but other than that, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm about to go get a massage, and I'm going to go have a little training session. And every day, because the hard work is done now, every day, closer and closer to the fight, I'm just getting stronger and stronger. And if anybody want to make some money this weekend, go and bet the house on me, because Dan Henderson doesn't stand a chance. He's, you know, it's a done deal. It's a foregone conclusion. The money's in the bank. Put your money on me, and just go pick it up the next day.
Thank you, Michael. You're great, and I hope you win the fight. I mean, I like Henderson a lot, but you can't not love Michael Bisping. You can't not want Michael to be champion.
Henderson's a legend. You know, all the shit I talk or whatever. I respect the guy. He's an hard bastard. He's a family man. I respect him. I do. I just do my thing. I'm just selling a fight and getting myself amped up for it. You know. So yeah, I respect him. Lewis, you're a cheating bastard. Never speak to me again. Guys, keep up the good work. Talk to you soon.
All right, see you soon, Michael.
All right,
Take
see you
care.
later,
Good luck,
Mike.
buddy.